So when you are doing 1-day seasons, after a while, you got a lot of stuff that you got to do that your villagers just can't keep up with. And it becomes endless amounts of busy work. So today I figured instead of showcasing all just the busy work that I do around the village as the mayor, the lumberjack, fisherman, head chef, just, you know, all of it. Instead of showcasing all that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story from my real life outside of Medieval Dynasty about busy work. I've had a few odds and end type jobs in my day. You know, maybe a little job that you took a summer in school, or maybe in between, like, you know, when school ended and before my military service started, I had a gap there on a few months. You try to grab some jobs, something where you're not going to need a long ramp up period, and you can just come in and you can work for a little while and help out. You know, the business needs you and you don't, you know, you can just dive into it. And a job that I had once was working at a pallet factory. We're talking about just regular wooden pallets, you know, that you load products on. They get shipped on trucks and all that stuff. And this factory did only one thing. They only made one size pallet. And it was a whole operation. Several hundred pallets a day, which is being cranked out of this facility. I got a call one morning. I knew somebody who worked there. And somebody else who worked there had gotten injured. And they needed somebody, like, today to come and help out. And probably for a few weeks. So I went in. Ready to work, ready to just dig in, right? You know, I figured it's going to be a lot of physical labor. And my first job at the pallet factory was the planing machine. You just take a rough board, you load it in on one side, and you run to the other side. It was a big old, huge old planing machine. You run to the other side where you catch that board and you put it off to the side. If you're alone. If you're two people working, one person will feed it, the other one will stand at the back end. And that was a lot of busy work. It was just, you know, a whole day just standing there, catching a board, stacking it, catching a board, stacking it. And apparently I did such a good job at planing boards that they moved me to another station. And a lot of what happens, of course, in a factory is automated. They had a lot of robots and you know, automated nail guns that would nail together these pallets and whatnot. And at the very last station, right, the very last thing that happened was the pallet got made, and then the pallet came sliding down this metal. It was just like a metal slide, because apparently, like, it's much further up, and it got done, and it came sliding down the slide onto a table where a robotic arm came down, grabbed it, and moved it over and stacked it in a specific spot where you would just stack up, like, I don't remember, 10 or 12 high or something. Wrap it, and then the forklift would pick them up and run them out so they could be ready for pickup for whoever was buying pallets. The problem was that the way the pallet came down from the slide onto the robot picking table, the pallet was turned the wrong way. You know, normally pallets will have openings where the forks can go in from the forklift, and then the sides they're not closed off, but they have a bottom board, you know, something that it can actually sit on the ground or in a truck or whatnot. And the way that it slid down from the slide and then got grabbed by the robot, when it got set in the stack, the forklift couldn't get in and grab it. It was sitting sideways. And apparently they couldn't change the robot or something. And that became my station. And for 4 weeks, working at this pallet factory, my entire job was wait for a pallet to get done, watch it come down the slide, turn the pallet just a quarter turn, right? Just so that it was aligned differently. so that the robot arm could come down and grab it. That was the most busy work, like just the grindiest job I've ever had. It was easy. Popped in some music, and that's all I did. Grab the pallet, turn it, and it had like a little corner, little metal corner that it needed to go into, you know, so that it was like perfectly lined for the robot arm. Turn it, jab it into that corner, wait for the next one. And they would show up about every, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 seconds. One would just show up until the robot says that the stack was full. Then they stopped coming. And that's what Medieval Dynasty right now reminds me of. Just all this busy work. And I'm glad. I am glad that I'm playing video games instead of turning pallets. I guess that is the silver lining to the story. That's all I got, though. Thank you so much for coming out, for checking out the video. If you liked video gameplay and a story, this is something that we're going to continue doing. And if you're not already subbed to the channel, make sure you hit that sub button. And hopefully, well, hopefully I will see you on the next one. Oh, it's just a guy hanging out. That's not... This is more boring than I thought it would be.
Egger. I can't. Oh my god! I was typing.